Imagine a world where the chords of Hey Jude never echoed, where A Hard Day's Night was just a phrase, and Yellow Submarine was but a child's toy. Today, we delve deep into the legend of four lads who turned these imaginings into anthems for generations. The genesis of genius, Liverpool beginnings. Liverpool, England, a port city, humming with the tunes of the Mersey beat. This is where our story starts, in a humble home, as John Lennon met Paul McCartney, and the seeds of the Beatles were sown. With George Harrison and Ringo Starr completing the quartet, the group began its rise, playing at venues like the Cavern Club, gathering a local following that would soon explode globally. Riding the wave of Beatlemania. As the Beatles released their first hits, Love Me Do, and Please Please Me, a phenomenon began. Dubbed Beatlemania, this tidal wave of fame saw screaming fans, sold-out concerts, and a media frenzy that no band had ever witnessed. Their early music, a blend of rock and pop, was fresh, catchy, and invigorating, capturing the zeitgeist of the 60s youth. Pushing boundaries, the middle years. The Beatles weren't just about pop music. They began experimenting, both with their music and lifestyles. Albums like Rubber Soul and Revolver showcased this evolution, with Eastern influences, psychedelic rock, and profound lyrics. This was also a period of introspection, with their famous trip to India to study transcendental meditation. Changing times, the late Beatles. The Beatles' later years, while musically rich, were tumultuous. As they produced classics like Hey Jude and the iconic Abbey Road album, personal differences started to surface. Yet, even in these trying times, their creativity shone, with ventures like the Apple Corps and their final album, Let It Be. Beyond the music, personal lives and controversies. John, Paul, George, and Ringo weren't just the Beatles. They were individuals with dreams, loves, and controversies. From John's relationship with Yoko Ono to George's spiritual journey, each Beatle had his own path. Their outspoken nature, especially in the realm of politics and religion, often made headlines, sometimes eclipsing their music. End of an era, the breakup and solo careers. By the early 70s, the Beatles decided to go their separate ways, each pursuing individual musical careers. While fans around the world mourned this decision, the Fab Four continued to bless the world with music, albeit separately. A legacy that lives on. Their split didn't mark the end, it was just a new beginning. The Beatles' influence permeates every musical genre and culture worldwide. Their songs are timeless, their messages universal. From movies to cover bands to academic courses, the Beatles remain an integral part of our global fabric. Thank you for traveling back in time with us, rediscovering the magic of the Beatles. Their journey, filled with highs and lows, harmonies and discords, reminds us of the power of dreams and the universal language of music. If this musical voyage struck a chord, consider subscribing and sharing this documentary. Let's come together and keep the legacy of the Beatles alive, for all you need is love, and a bit of rock and roll.